Today, our guest, Rich Krupnik, is one of the people that I've watched grow their business over 700% over the last 2 years. And he had to do some things within that business that you're going to hear about today that completely transform the way that he approaches mortgages and the way that he approaches his P&L and the way that he approaches his people. So I'm here with the one and only Rich Krupnik, man. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Oh, I'm pumped.
Dude, this is awesome. So first off, man, over the last few years, I've watched you grow your business from, I want to say at one point, dude, you were funding like $1 million, $2 million a year. I mean, a month or something like that with this entire team. Mm-hmm. I saw you do something unlike anybody else. You were taking like almost no paycheck because you wanted to make sure that your team was taken care of. I think your assistant at the time was making more than you were. Yeah. And then you just grew your business 700%. And so I wanted that to be the framework of what we're talking about today, because there's people out there that are stuck in a cycle, in a bad process, and they are not stopping to look at it. And I'll never forget this moment that you and I were sitting on a bus in, where were we, in California at that time? Yeah, we're on a bus in California. Or on like a shuttle in between events. We just started talking about health and life, and you're like, man, I'm really going to make a change. And in my head, bro, I was like, I don't know if this guy's going to do it. You were probably at the lowest point in your career at that point, and you were like, this isn't working.
It was a mental thing. It was mental. It was, and a lot of people went through it. There's so many people that left the industry. Mm-hmm. But being at that leadership event, no offense to anyone, the people that's watching this that was there, but they're not like rock star, they're not blowing my mind, that
should be the case. My brain looks at it this way. It's like, well, if they could do it, why can't I?
Yeah.
Right. And you're seeing these people that are just normal people put on their pants the same way you do,
goofy,
and they're crushing it, right?
So
you're like,
how?
What? Yeah.
So that's where my brain went while we were there. But I mean, the lead up to that, you go from my life didn't change during COVID. I mean, I might have throw a mask on for Subway or something like that when I had to go in to get it. But, it didn't really change. I went to the office. I had my team there. Mm-hmm. It was a smaller team, but I had my team there. Coming out of that and then getting hurt at the gym, the market turning, put me in a different mood. I felt like I was failing, physically, business-wise. I felt like I was failing my team. Being at the event, it was good because, you get that rah-rah kind of feel, but you start to, see your competition. And I was like, you're not my competition.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's how you got to feel. Don't feel bad about that. I think that when you get in a room with people that are doing better than you, you realize that the only voice it's your own voice that's holding you back.
100%.
That ego in your mind that's holding you back, and you unlock it when you get in a room with people that have unlocked that and have said, okay, I can get here, right? And you're like, wait, well, so can I then?
Right.
But it takes you getting up and getting into those events. I remember looking at you thinking, man, I don't know if Rich is going to get anything out of this. So when you and I happened to be on the bus at the end, and you were asking me questions, and you were very curious, and you were like, no, man, I'm gonna switch this up. You met with a top guy in the company. Yeah,
I sat there and talked to him, and I asked him how he was structured, and I'm like, all right, I'm structured correctly. I'm not doing anything wrong there necessarily. I go, then it's me. Mm-hmm. It's 100% me.
Most people are afraid to say that. Yeah. Most people want to blame their ops. Yeah. Most people want to blame, and by the way, those things could have issues, but they want to blame, I don't know, their spouse. They want to blame the world, but they never want to look in and say, is it me? And you were able to say, and I think your 700% growth is right there, is you admitting, I got to change something.
We were like the only two people on that bus, too.
We really were. We really were. Sitting next to each other.
And I'm like, I think I sat behind you, and then because nobody else got on, or very few people got on, and I'm like,
because we're leaving early. We're like the first bus leaving. Yeah.
And I just told you, I said, I've had enough. That was really the moment where I just realized it's me. I need to do better by myself, my team, my family. I just have to do better.
Yeah, that's deep, because not a lot of people can do that.
Leaving that event, I remember telling you that. I made a decision. This was actually a year ago, April 22nd. So today is what, June?
Yeah, a year and what? Yeah, 3 or 4 months, yeah.
Yeah, I had already had a gym membership. I've been paying for LA Fitness forever. Yeah. Forever. It just keeps going, Yeah. I can't even cancel it. My better half ended up getting Mountainside for the family.
Yeah.
And I decided, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go down there.
Yeah.
And so Because if you think about it, like let's say I've lost 50 pounds, that's over 12 months.
Yeah.
If you just jump on the scale every day, you're not going to see. You have to have consistency. It's got to be every day.
Well, how often are you doing it in a week's time? Well, what were you doing?
Every day.
Every day? Yeah, I'm the same way.
Still every day.
I'm every day too.
Yeah.
So how long have you been working out? Okay. You lost 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Working out every day for how long?
Since April 22nd last year.
Yeah. And you haven't taken a break?
No, I missed a couple of days because I was on
Sick
vacation.
Or vacation,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And the vacation, even then, I went to the gym.
Yeah, there you
but
go.
like, you know, so it was that. It was changing up my diet. It's also a schedule thing for you. You know, like the one thing about me, and I've always been like this, is I'm very structured. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm out of whack, like if I don't take my vitamins at a certain time, or like, you know what I mean, I'm off. Like it drives me nuts. So you got to get up at a certain time, and I like to do the gym in the morning because it gives you that energy. You know, it gets you up, gets you going. You know, you're pumped. You're
absolutely
ready to go for the day. And so I'll fight someone to go to the gym. I'm like, they're like, you got a meeting. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going.
That's your big rock. You're going to make sure that
I'm
happens.
not moving that.
Everything happens after that.
Yeah. So so from that meeting we had, and we went to, I said I was going to do that. You know, I'm going to change physically, because I will tell you, like, and you know, this is going to get deeper, but my woman, she's a social butterfly.
Yeah.
She likes to be with people. Like, she's very, very good, very nice with people. Like, she remembers everything about them, their birthdays, their kids' names. She's so good. Yeah. And she always wants to go do stuff.
Okay.
And when I was out of shape, and she stuck through with me at 275 pounds, but
did she ever say anything?
She never said anything.
She never said anything.
She loves me regardless.
I get that, but like, she didn't push for you, like, hey, maybe you should. Yeah, okay, good. No. Interesting. Yeah.
But it affected her too. So, and I'll get into that later on. But
Rich, when you started seeing the transformation, and I'm looking at the playbook for somebody that's stuck.
Yeah.
And most people, like I said, will look at like outwardly. You looked inwardly. And you made the shift inwardly first. You said, I got to get moving. 100%. I got to get active. I got to start going to the gym. And then from there, when did it start to impact your business?
Almost immediately. I mean, there was a shift. Like when you're up early and getting the energy going, the energy transcends into your business, right? Because especially you're doing the morning. I had more energy in that sense. And then also, like, our industry is like, it's a people industry. You know, you got to be in front of people. You got to be, you know, socializing with people. So I started doing more of that. I'm never like, what you'll find with me is I'm not a salesman. I don't sell people on stuff. I just kill them with intelligence, show them I know what I'm talking about, can answer the question quickly, but not high pressure. I do that with my clients. I do that with realtor partners. I don't want to pressure you into, you're either going to see it or you're not. You know what I mean? You know, I started doing more of that. Started getting out, getting in front of people. Started getting excited about what clothes I was wearing. The wifey was buying me shirts, new shirts for the gym, and you know, start feeling really good. Even the gym people, you walk in, they get consistently. Oh yeah, they're like, dude,
you're there every day.
Like, you're like, they're like, we were just talking about it. You're looking crazy. So that was the first thing I started with, but then it did like shift into affecting business. One other thing when we were at that leadership event, I said, hey, I need to make some changes. I knew it was starting with me, with the energy and like feeling good about it, because the one thing that people forget from 2020 to now, how many people left the industry? Yeah. Right? So let's say business is down as a whole in the nation, right? With less people doing it, you're going to pick up more market share, right? So that's where I started shifting my brain. Like, it's not the market, it's me. Like, I need to make some changes to like get myself to the next level, you know? So, and I have done it before, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why am I just letting myself continue to be depressed about this crap? Like, take control and get it done. So that's what I did. It was the health first, just to the energy part of it, and then transcending into the business, and then saying like, hey, I have a team that's trusting me. They're looking at me as their go-getter. The one thing about me that you'll find, you probably already know this about me, but I'm going to be out front. Like, I'll pull you guys. I don't care. Through the mud, through the sleet, I don't care.
That's good,
So that's my mentality, is like, if I'm not going to ask you to do something that I'm not going to do myself. So when it came to like timeline, like how how many hours I'm working a day, if it came to like how many calls I'm making a day, I share that with them. I show them. Like we track all that stuff. I'll lead by example all day long. The health was first, then going into the business, realizing there's people that rely on me. It's not just my family, it's also my work family, right? Called Jen, my work wife.
Yeah.
Anything she needs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's my mentality, because she'll do anything for me. Like if there's, that's why we work so well together. Like I work nights, weekends. That's when people are working. Like realtors are working. They're out showing houses. You know, clients need you. Like I have the technology that can, you know, I can have it on my cell phone. I can have my computer. It's in front of me at all times. So if someone needs you, and that's the one thing, if you look at any of my reviews online, it's like always available, always knowledgeable, that kind of thing, right? Because here's the thing, is like I'm at the point now where this is not about income.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm actually having more fun just helping people.
There you go.
Does that sound weird?
Yeah, no, it's not at all. That's the more people you help, the more money you're going to make.
Yeah.
But you're also fulfilled. So if you can help more people, there's a more fulfilling aspect to it. But ironically, you also get paid more. See, we operate in a very transactional business, and there's only so many conversations you could have. So for me, like I used to be an originator. I was a good originator, but it was very transactional. So once you close that deal. And then one time I met this woman when I was first moving to Scottsdale. She's showing me my apartment, and I thought she was really good. So I was like, hey, what do you make here? She's like, I think at the time it was like maybe 30 grand. I don't remember.
What year is this?
It's like 2008 maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2000. No, before then. It was 2005. Sorry. Okay. January 2005 is when I moved here. And so
because average salary makes a difference in the year it was.
I asked her, she was like 30,000, and she was really good. She was really good at how she showed the apartment, very thoughtful. Anyway, when she ran my credit, I had bad credit at the time.
Oh no.
So she's like, I need to see you. And I had asked her like, hey, what do you make? You should come and work with me, because I need loan officers. Come in, spend a day with us, and see what you think. And then if it makes sense, I know I can pay you more than this.
Right.
And she was like, so she kind of blew me off. Haha, thank you. I sent her my paycheck stub because my credit sucked. And she's like, I need a paycheck.
Yeah.
And then she called me back. She's like, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
And then, and she came in, she spent the day. She's not made less than like $300,000-$400,000 a year since then. That's
awesome.
Right. And she worked with me for many years. And then I moved on to a different type of business. I was into like call center type business, and I moved out of that. But that like that was like a drug to me, because I was like, I can help more people and create deeper relationships and through that help more clients than I ever could. And when I did that, when I put my back against the wall, so I'm not originating anymore, then things grew, like income grew for me, but I was more fulfilled. And I think that'll be, I don't know that you'll ever give it up, but because I know you, but like I think that's where you're getting fulfillment from. So I want to go back to it. So you grew 700%. That is not normal growth for any, like I'm a 30%. My goal is if I can do 30% year over year, that's fantastic. But you went 700, right?
Is it annoying that I didn't hit 1,000? That's where my
no, not at all. No, I don't even know if I don't even know if it works. Like,
can you even do that?
Yeah. So no, I don't even think about that. I'm just like, people listening don't believe 700 is even like, what is this bro talking about, right? So let's go back a little bit in this, and I want to be very succinct in the way that we describe this. But when you made the decision and you had more energy and you were taking care of your physical being, then you started being more aware of the things that weren't working in your business. What was not working from your perspective?
And decisions, like the decisions that were being made to move the mark. Like I felt restricted a little bit in what I could do, because it was a shared decision. Well,
let's go back. You had a partnership. So many people don't know this. People are like Rich Krupnik. I don't know that guy, but you might have heard of the Supreme Team right there. You can Google them, right? And
Google me.
and that team's been around forever. Yeah. Like I knew you before I knew you because of that brand in the marketplace. I knew that you were a very lead-driven organization. I knew people that had worked with you guys. I knew that you had guided, but it was always like a duel. So coming out of this, you were getting frustrated in the partnership, and this is not an uncommon thing. When you're partnered with somebody for many years, you start to see the cracks in that. Honestly, in a lot of ways, like my marriage is different now when I stopped drinking, because I notice things differently than I did before
course.
because you just know how to manage emotions different. And that's essentially what you were doing. You were looking at it from a different lens, and you were realizing I could probably move faster, quicker, better maybe if I can have all the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you in partnerships, it's got to also be scary to do this by yourself.
It is. I mean, yeah, it was just, you got, in this industry, you got to be an alpha if you're going to be successful,
I agree,
right?
yeah.
I overanalyze things. I think 5 moves ahead. This is chess for me, right? Like, how can this be perceived from the consumer perspective, from the real estate perspective? I think about all that stuff. Verbiage, how is things being said, like whether it be verbally over the phone or in text or email or whatever case might be. Some things, vocabulary, it could be punctuation, like
you have a standard of work,
spelling words. You know what I mean?
When I ran a branch, I was like, not one customer ever walked in at 8 a.m., but I was like, coffee better be ready at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yeah.
The door better be unlocked at 8 a.m. So if you got to come in at 7:45 and leave at 4:45, I'm okay with that.
Yes.
But the coffee is ready and business is open, right?
Right.
So you just got to have a standard on how you do all of that. And if you're at odds in a 50-50 relationship, or like getting undermined, or you just don't agree, that emotional baggage is enough to put you back into a depression, right? Like you can't move.
I mean, there's also like when I made the shift, like it was an impact to my own business, like the team as a whole. But sometimes when you're, in that co-situation, like you're splitting income also, that can be an impact to you mentally too, and it makes you kind of shut down too. So
every time somebody tells me I want to go into partnership with somebody, I'm like, this only works until the day that you think you're doing more business than them, or they're doing more business with. It only works until that day. So if you can go at it with that thought process, well, cool. But until you get there, just know you'll get there. So you made a decision to split out of the partnership.
Yeah.
And when you made that decision, tell me about that, Rich. Business is kind of growing. You separate the partnership. How worried were you that it was like, did you ever second guess, is this going to work?
I'm a Christian, so I pray about stuff. Things are meant to be. God's got control. Was I nervous? Yeah, sure. But that's just because people that rely on you, when they rely on you for income, life experiences, lifestyle, want to push yourself harder. I mean, in reality, I wasn't. I feel like I care enough about people on the team, those around me, like I wanted to make those changes for them.
True, but decision-making is a hard thing.
100%.
Like in leadership.
Yeah.
Like when you make it, like I'm fast on that. Like I've done this for a long time.
I
will make a decision and I will live by it one way or another. You know what I mean? Like, and I have enough industry knowledge or just human knowledge to say like it always works out, like, and there's people who are in partnerships that want to get out of partnerships, and did it free you to be like, oh, I can roll.
100%.
We did a webinar. I don't think you were able to get on it the other day, but this guy was talking about, and he was on my podcast too, Jared. He was talking about how when you're 90% all in versus 100% all in, that 1% is the chasm that everything opens up. And he said, but decision is not like, it's not just always going all in. It's maybe letting something go. And so when you decide to go all in on letting it go, then the world will open up to you in a way that you may not have seen. And in your case, that happened when you decided to go all in on yourself and your business and decision making and the path of what you took by separating, because then at that point your business exploded as well. Like it was already exploding when you started making decisions. Like, so you made the first shift where you were like, look, I'm going to be responsible for everything. I'm going to let you guys go do the things that I need you to do, and your business grew. And you're also on a P&L model. And for some people that don't know what that is, you take a lot more risk because you handle all the expenses. But once you get to a certain number, then you're printing money at that point. You can make a lot more money.
Absolutely.
Going back to it, like, that model also affords you to, like in a corporate world, most people had to cut their assistants and things like that, where you were like, no, I'll just not make any money and I'll pay my assistant. You made sure that they had a good life. And I say your assistant, she's nothing, she's a manager. She's much more than an assistant.
Work wife.
But so from your perspective, where did that shift happen? Or now that you got to that point, right? So you've made the divorce, you're managing your business, and now you're making big checks. Because I call you and I'm like, bro, did you see your P&L? No. I love when I get it. I'm like, bro, did you see it? What do you
almost feel guilty sometimes.
What's that?
I feel guilty.
You feel guilty making all this money?
Yeah, sometimes. Like,
did you get the Porsche yet? Did you go buy it?
No.
Okay.
Trying to be responsible.
So you're making, but you deserve it, because I also know you work very, very hard.
Yeah.
I know you've made so much sacrifice, and you want to do bigger and better things, right? And so in this like path, you're going to make bigger decisions and bigger, everything. You being here is a decision. You said, hey, I'm going to be there instead of here, right? Those are decisions that you're making to go all in on something. So now I'm thinking in terms of that, like, to get to where you're at, there's certain things that you have to have in your business. And so for the loan officer that's out there, that's like, what does this guy do to grow his business? Like, what does he do? What are the, like, let's talk about the things that you have inside your business, like maybe tool sets that you have that most people don't.
Most people have a CRM, but I've
You'd be surprised. Nobody's using it.
No.
You know what I mean? So the only CRM that's good is the one that you use.
Yes.
Doesn't matter which brand. It doesn't matter. Just the one that you use. Let's start there.
I mean, I got, when it comes to CRMs, like I have a thing about separating personal from work stuff. The technology piece is like I have a team line. So I have one phone number. Yeah. Okay. But my CRM is smart enough that when a client specifically calls in on that number and so is assigned, like someone on my team is assigned, it only rings their number.
Oh, that's good. That's smart.
Now, if I have multiple people in there, it'll ring all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the CRM is decked out. Like it's the, like if they wanted to charge me $10,000 a month, I probably would pay it. Like I have that thing decked. We live by being world-class service and communication. Like it's got to be that, you know what I mean? Because people want, if they have a question or concern, they want to be able to get a hold of their lender. Absolutely. Not be left to voicemail and like I'll call you back in 24 hours. No, you pick up the phone.
Well, that's an interesting thing. So I'll tell you this quick story.
Reply to a text. My team even like if there's a text and they say thank you, you say you're welcome.
Yeah. You okay. You want to be the last person to. That's
absolutely
good point. So
always the last one to text.
Always
back.
Be the last person to text back.
Yeah.
So check this out. So one day when I was like, my dad sold tires for a living, and so one day when I was like 16 years old, I go into his store. And I'm sitting there waiting for him. I can't remember why I was there. I think he needed me to do something, but he had a line of people like literally out the door. Whatever. I just went at a rush time, right? They're all sitting there. And he did this like 3 times. And I'm 16, and I worked in a call center dialing for dollars for people for cable. And so I knew a little bit about customer service at this point, right? So I'm watching, and every time like he's talking to somebody, the phone rings and he picks up the phone. He'll stay on the phone with the person for like 10 minutes. And then he's like, then he goes to the person and then he helps them. And then the phone ring again and he takes it and he's like 10 minutes, writes it down. He helps them. And I never felt like he was rushed on the call. So after all this is all said and done, I was like, Dad, why do you answer the phone and keep like their person standing right in front of you? Yeah. Why are you so rude to them when you take the phone call? And he said, son, I already got them in the door. I need to get that person in the door, like right?
Yeah.
And I was like, it opened my mind because I was like, this bro is selling tires, and he has a strategy on how to get them in the door, right? So I tell you that story because that's what you're doing. You're figuring out ways to never let the phone go to voicemail.
That's right.
So is that a tactic that you then been thought out about?
Even like, so we'll be in team meetings or we'll be whatever. They're all taught, if they can't answer the phone, they text them immediately and say, hey, I'm currently busy, but I will call you back as soon as I'm free. You know,
so this is a tactic, right?
Oh, 100%.
So, okay, so I'm hearing
there's
CRM.
There's no missing nothing.
But never miss a phone call.
No.
Okay.
And that's weekends. I don't care. That's why it will ring our computer and our cell phone at the same time.
Yeah.
So if it's the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, unless I always tell people a joke and I say, there's only 2 times you won't get a hold of me. I'm either sleeping, pooping, or eating something, or in the shower or something, But
I feel like you would still answer if you were eating.
Probably, yeah. No, I always do. I eat at my desk. Like, I don't go nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yes, communication is key, and that goes not only for the consumer themselves, but our realtor partners, title, that kind of stuff. Like
everything,
everything. You know what I mean? We return calls. We do it in a timely manner. We're not leaving people hanging.
Okay. Yeah.
Because this is life-changing experiences for people. They're buying homes or
if you start ghosting
money.
them, then that's anxiety in the process.
It freaks them out.
Yeah.
And the one thing I learned, this was, if you go back, and I wanted to bring this up earlier when we were talking, but I had a story for you.
Yeah.
So this was probably, I was 2 years into my career. I was talking to this woman. Her name's Nancy, Sun City. Or was.
She's not there
she's
anymore,
not,
bro.
She's not
if 20 years ago she was already in Sun City,
she's not there.
She's long gone, bro.
Yeah, it's probably true. But I was talking to her, and we had talked for 6 months about doing a refinance. I mean, I was constantly talking to her, and we were coming up on Mother's Day, and I said, Nancy, you were my mother. I would have you do this.
Yeah.
And there was a short pause, probably a 5-second pause, and all I hear was, let's do it. And I go, what?
Yeah.
And she goes, that's all you needed to say. And I'm like, so then it made me realize, and Mother's Day came, I sent her a Mother's Day card.
Yeah.
She did have like some issues with her children and stuff like that, so I think it resonated with her. But from that moment on, I realized I'm not a salesman. I'm more of a family member. So in other words, I want to help you.
Absolutely, you should, yeah.
So like every time I talk to someone, let's say I get their date of birth and they're younger than me, I'm like, I'm going to be your big brother. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do this. If they're older than me, Mom, Dad, don't do that. You know what I mean? I'm giving them advice from the stuff that I do on a daily. They don't do this daily.
Let me ask this question. And I know how you're going to answer it, but I think this is important to distinguish. But do you mean it in that moment?
Absolutely.
So that I think that's the authenticity that's different, right? So
that's why I said
somebody
this
will
isn't
say
an income thing for me. This isn't a job.
Somebody will say it, but they don't mean it.
No, I 100% mean it.
And if you try it and you don't necessarily mean it, then
it's
people
not going to
read
resonate
through that shit, right? But you have to have that authenticity to really mean it, because yes, you're offering people advice, and you're like, this is what I would do.
Yes.
If you were my sister, if you were my brother, and that's it. Like,
and I always tell them, I'll do what you want to do. If you want to put that much down, we can do that much. But I advise against certain things, and I tell them why. I explain everything why. But I tell them, like, well, I'll do what you want to do. But this is the reason why I'm suggesting this. Just based on the 20 years of experience I've got, I wouldn't do it this way because X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? But like, even credit questions or, educationally, I teach them stuff throughout the process. We do this on a daily basis where they're doing it once every 5 years, 10 years, Some of these people, like, things have changed even in that time frame. So I spend the time with them to educate them through the process. Like, you want to talk about your dad being on the phone for 10 minutes? Bro, I'm on the phone way too long with people.
Yeah.
But that's because I want them to learn as they're going through it.
I mean, it's funny because right outside my door is a call center.
Yeah.
And they track who's on the phone the longest because that's the highest converter. Because, and for those of you may or may not know this, because some people try to rush through and get the deal done. But
that's the people that are doing this for a job.
Yeah, it's transactional. Right now.
Yeah, it's transactional.
So if you can look at it and say, so every customer has allocated, whether they on a conscious level know this or not, how much time they're going to spend in getting a mortgage or shopping a refi or whatever the case is. And your job is to eat up every bit of it.
Every minute of it.
Right? Because I remember.
There's people that are on the phone with me for like 2 hours. They're like, Rich, I have to pick up my kids from school. Like, okay.
I'm never calling another lender. I'm just here.
They don't want to deal with it anymore. Yeah, they're like,
but that's your job is to eat it up, because if you don't, you've turned it into a transaction, right?
Yeah.
So let me back up. So one, you have a CRM that has technology that most CRMs don't have. So you have a phone number set up that it knows how to direct the call. You've text instructed your team a technique that's like never let a call go to voicemail, but if it does, you include a text and never be the last to text.
That's right.
And then the last thing is, or the fourth thing is, you have this ability, this technique where you're offering advice, but you put it into a framework of, this is what I would do for my mother.
100%.
And is it fair to say that if I wouldn't do it for my mother, don't do the deal?
Yeah. I mean, there's times where I will turn people away. Like, and that's the one thing that has made me successful over the years, because I've told people, no, I'm not going to be your best source for this. Go here.
Yeah.
And then they still want to use me. And I'm like, you're not listening to me. I don't want to do this for you. I want you to go here to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so sometimes I will guide them in that way, and they appreciate that more, because I'm coming from a honest approach. Like, I really care like that you're getting the best deal or you're doing this the right way. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And people can feel it.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you right now, like if you baloney through that,
yeah.
I don't want to cuss on you.
No, you can. Yeah.
You don't want to baloney through it. Like you want to be authentic. And
100%. I mean, I think a lot of people don't either understand the product, don't really understand the situation.
You know what I used to do?
Start to
begin my career.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
But let me research the answer and get back to you. Is there any other questions I can help you with?
Yeah.
So like if people ask you stuff that you don't know about a product,
yeah,
tell them you don't know.
Or eventually you will know because you'll get tired of doing that. You'll get tired of having to call people back.
Or the best thing that I've ever, if this is what I come up with. I go, I'm 95% sure, but let me double check the guidelines because they change all the time. So let me get back to you.
Yeah.
And you
but
say
I can appreciate that. And you know what? It makes me like if I was talking to a lawyer or a doctor and they told me that, I kind of feel like I got some shit going on and most people don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It kind of makes me feel a little special.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're like, you know what? I remember I had this. I don't know what it was. The doctors didn't know what it was, and they were like, "Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like we're gonna have to.
You're just
we
short.
need. You gotta clip that. That's good. That's good. Screen, but no, they I go 5'6", bro. So no, but I remember them being like, you know, this is some shit that I've not dealt with. So, you know, for me, I think it's okay to do that. I think a lot of people want to fake it till they make it.
Yeah.
And you simply cannot do that. Okay, so going back to it. So you have these things, and I was thinking about, you get CRM.
I'll go into it.
What else is there?
CRM, you're all about your communication, your service. And so we have, I'm not an email guy. I'm not going to send out a blast email, drip campaign.
But even your CRM doesn't do it?
So it does do it, but I don't enable that. I don't utilize it for that.
Oh, wow. No, it does do that, but that's not. So when you say CRM, I think of a drip system.
I drip text only, and I use interpolations, and we'll have links in there for them to.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I'll tell you one thing: like I sometimes will talk to a client once, and then I talk to them at closing because we can literally text them. No, it's because we have text messages. Yeah. So we have built-out text messages to instruct them on what steps to take next, and like. Yeah. Some people really like that. I'm telling you, in today's world, people are like old antisocial. They don't really want to talk on the phone. Well, which is kind of crazy.
A lot of times they're at work.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So they don't want,
and that's exactly what I tell them. So I tell them, we're going to walk you through the whole process. If you have questions, you can call me. Yeah. But we'll just tell you when the next step. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like keep you.
So somebody texts you back, it hits your CRM. What if you're working out? How does the CRM ever auto respond? Or
it does auto respond in certain times. Outside
have you integrated
an
AI into that yet?
So it has AI.
Okay.
But I don't like doing that.
Okay.
The reason why is because there's some personalized stuff to people. You know what I mean?
I agree with that, but
I don't trust it yet.
Okay.
I'm not there yet.
Can you upload everything you've ever responded? Okay. Is it tracking all your conversations in AI? I mean, okay, so go run that and say, go back, pull everything of how I talk.
It'll even analyze calls. So it'll rate calls on a scale of 1 to 10. So I can go back and look at my team and see how they're doing on calls. And,
that's really good. No, I think that's, did the company integrate that or did you implement
the CRM?
CRM did, okay. Yeah. Well, I get it, right? So what I want to do now is, because I want to help you, because I think that the next iteration, I really, getting to know you, watching what you're doing, the next iteration that I see is how you're going to be helping more people because the leadership is continuing to evolve. And there's such a lack of developers and leaders in mortgage right now because when COVID happened, bro, so many loan officers or branch managers got more worried about their own pipeline than their people. And so they just lost all like levels of leadership because it was like, bro, I got to get my deal first. And if you're a branch manager, then your deals are moving first, right? And so, okay, if a loan officer is working somewhere and they want to be on your team, like your team, you have a CRM, you have 40,000 leads with leads. You also are a guru at generating your own leads. Yeah, so you're an exclusively you create your own exclusive lead of home buyers with a high conversion, from what I understand. And then the second thing is, or the third thing is, you also have this person that's managing and structuring all your deals as they come in.
Yeah, I want my people on the front end. I want to be on the front end.
Yeah,
I don't want to be clunky with, things that are time consuming. I want to be on the front end, having the conversations, creating the relationships, bringing in the business.
So your partner, Jen, essentially, she structures the deal up front, packages it, and then she manages the pipeline too, along with your whole,
she's a genius.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, with her, you know, I'm taking an application, I'm collecting the documents, she's reviewing everything.
Yeah.
Because I have a filter mindset. Like, if it goes through multiple filters, it's going to be clean when it goes in. The worst phone call you can ever make is to an agent or to a client and say, hey, just kidding, 2 weeks into this, you've paid for an appraisal and inspection, and you're ready to move, and you've given notice to your apartment, and just kidding, we didn't review everything.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah.
I'm not making that phone call. Will I if I have to? Sure, but I haven't had to make it in years.
Yeah.
You know why? Because there's a filter process.
Yeah.
I want clean in, clean out.
There you go. Yeah.
So we address all the issues up front.
So if I'm a loan officer that doesn't have that, right? Like, let's say I'm a $6 to $10 million producer. Usually I'm by my. That's the hardest place to be, because you can help somebody double your business.
Yes.
And you never recruit to this because you don't have time, and you're doing your own business. But you and I have been talking. I'm like, bro, I think you should just get like 3 or 4 people on your team that you can really double, because I think it'll change your life, and I think you'll get so much more fulfillment from that. So if you're out, like Rich and I have been working together for the last several years, if you are looking, he has something that's really dynamic that I don't see a lot of people being able to offer. And from a scalable perspective, like, you're willing to add to that support mechanism as people grow, right?
Yeah. I mean, initially, my biggest problem that I have right now is delegation. I've done more of that recently, especially in the last month or two. It's actually working, so I'm like, okay, maybe I could delegate a little bit.
Is that because your computer got bricked?
Yes. You're a jerk. I invested in myself. I bought myself a computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started delegating.
So you really didn't need a $10,000 computer.
Here's the reason why. Let me explain. So I realized that I do need to get out and meet people.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not hey, let me take you to lunch, or I'll give you some coffee. Like, I'm not that kind of lender.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that will impress you on every transaction. Yeah. So like when we close early, like I have one that we had
You just did 10, what was it?
Yeah, 10 day. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It was a 10 day, but was it
a week early still too?
Yeah.
So it was a short close of escrow.
Yeah.
The other lender has their deal for like 2 weeks, and they were barely getting the appraisal done. I already had docs out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening? So anyways, I want to impress every listing agent. Yeah. So the listing agent picks up the phone, calls me, and goes, who the hell are you? Yeah. And I'm like, let's talk about doing business. Because I call them at the beginning.
Yep.
If you're watching this, call the listing agent at the beginning. Say, this is what I'm going to do. This is what you should expect. And then I'm going to impress you, and then I'm going to call you at the end. And if I did everything, we'll talk about it. So I will call them once.
Yeah.
And that's at the beginning, to introduce myself, walk them through
everything. Wait, hold on. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You call every single listing agent in the beginning.
Yes.
And what is the response when you say this? What's your pitch again? I'm a listing agent. Ring, ring. Hello.
Congratulations on the new contract. You know what I mean? I'm going through the contract. Congratulations on the new contract. This is what we do.
Wait. Who is this? You're who? You're Rich?
Oh, you want me to go through that? No,
I'm curious, dude, because I'm sure that somewhat happens, right?
I say Google me.
And okay. You're like, Google me. So, no, but really, you have to explain who you are, right? Because they're not used to this call.
Yeah.
And then you get through that piece and you're explaining.
Sometimes, like, listing agents are reaching out to the lenders, so I already have them in my system. I've already talked to them about the pre-qual and if they should accept the offer, that kind of thing. If I haven't had that conversation, but then I will call the listing agent. I'll introduce myself, tell them who I am, how long my team's been together, how long I've been doing this.
What is their response to that?
It's receptive because most lenders don't.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
These people, much of them are not doing this, right? Yeah. So the other piece is making sure that you're calling and introducing yourself. Yeah. And then at that point you pitch like, hey, if this goes well, and it will.
Yeah, no, I brag. I tell them, I'm like, it's going to be the best transaction of our experience. I'll see you at the end. And like I tell them, I'm like, I'm not going to call you because I want you getting more business. Let me worry about this deal. Worry about your own deals. Yeah. And when I call you at the end, we'll talk. And then I come across a little arrogant probably, or
no, I think that's confidence, but the person
on
the other side is afraid of this because they don't have your system.
That's true.
I mean, the normal loan officer, I'm serious. There are loan officers that work for me that are afraid of this because they don't have the system in place, or they don't even have like the know-how to package it to get it to have that kind of level of confidence, right? So it's everything. But for you say you have a hard time with delegation, but you've delegated your CRM, you've delegated your process. You know,
I made it so easy because it's like everything's one touch. Like you can literally update in 2 clicks to everybody.
Yeah.
And like it's literally customized notes that are just click.
It's so great.
It's so easy.
Well,
so I call them.
Yeah.
Let me clarify this.
Going,
so I call them and I tell them this is what you should expect. You're going to get updates if it's local to Arizona. I say you're going to get LSUs without having to be asked. I go, and then I ask them, is there anybody else that you want to be included in the updates? I see your TC is so and so, or and sometimes, and because I've tracked everything, I've already done a transaction with them before. And I'm like, remember what we did in 2022? And they're like, you remember that? And I'm like, yeah. 123 Main Street or whatever. You know what I mean? They're like, no, wait. They're like, yeah, that was a good transaction. Oh, cool. I look forward to working with you again.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And that's if
you're talking about on a listing site.
If they don't know me, but like a lot of times, especially in a local market when you've been here 20 years, I'll call a listing agent and be like, what's up, bro?
How much business do you think you can get just from that?
Oh, from the relationship part of it?
For building that relationship with listing agents.
Oh, huge. Because every listing agent is typically a buyer's agent too. Or they have a team that does.
They all, and
I'll give you an example. We had one that we closed early, and this team, because we were including the TC and the team leader and everybody else on the updates and sending the LSUs and so that, they literally were ranting and raving in the emails. This is the best transaction I've ever experienced. You guys are the amazing lender, blah, blah, blah. Picked up the phone. Now we have the whole team.
Wow.
That's business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So people are afraid to make that call to create that relationship.
Don't be afraid. That's your job.
I agree. But bro, I'm telling you, like, this is why I think more people need to hear about you, because you have these rich isms that are the way that you just think the world works, but it really doesn't. And like, you know.
To me, every transaction is exactly the same. The only difference is the name of the borrower, the address, and the loan amount. Everything else is the same. Yeah. It goes the same process, same flow, same way of doing things.
Yeah.
And then it just gets consistent because then the buyer's agent that you're working with all the time knows what to expect. And they can brag about it to the listener. Don't worry about it. You'll be communicated the whole way. You will know exactly what's going on.
So you have a processor, right? Yeah. And they chase the conditions, right? Yeah. So, but most people, like, they either chase their conditions.
Oh, why?
Or they have their assistant chase their conditions. No. When you have your person on the front end packaging the heck out of it so that it can flow through, and your processor. Yeah,
she does a beautiful job. Yeah. It goes in nice and clean. That's why I have those 10-day closings. Yeah. Like, it's in and out, and I'm.
Boom.
Yeah.
All right, guys, check this out. If you got one thing for you that you can use on this podcast, just take a snapshot of it on your phone and post it into Instagram and tag Rich and I, because I think that we want to know what kind of content you want to hear. And if you like that, if it resonated, shoot us a DM also. And also, if you're somebody who's out there that's struggling with your process or your business and what Rich is saying resonates for, DM either of us, because we can help you with that. But Rich, man, I want to thank you for being here. This was amazing. I think we all learned something. And no, it's amazing. But also, like, it's not often I get to just sit down with somebody like you and just, like, one-on-one have a really good conversation with no distractions, no phone ringing.
Trust me, I'm itching to look at my emails.
Don't worry about it. Your CRM has it covered. True. But no, thank you, man, and thank you. Thank you guys for watching today. And Rich, where do they find you?
Like on Instagram?
Yeah.
It's just Rich_Krupnik.
Rich_Krupnik, and you guys know where to find me. So,
and our Facebook business page is facebook.com/lender. Literally lender on Facebook.
Facebook.com/lender.
Yep.
The only one that has that. And Google the Supreme Team, man, because they've been around forever. And how many Google reviews do you have?
Like 250. Well, we started out on Facebook, and then we switched a couple years ago to Google, so that's just in the last couple of years.
Yeah, like 250, all 5 stars. So have a great day, guys. Thank you for checking us out. Appreciate you.